think. In Sefer Yeshua, the gvul of zvul of every shevet is described from city to city, an entire border of every single shevet. It's not emes that Zvulun had a chelik at the shore of the Mediterranean. It's not emes. Some Rishonim taich that it was at the edge of the Kinneret, and they taich l'chayf yamim to mean the Kinneret, which the Kinneret is not a saltwater lake. It doesn't have any chalazin in it. And others, the Gra said, has the kasha, what's l'chayf yamim yishkai? So he says there is a ritzua of Zvulun that went to the yam, a thin ritzua. If you take any map, you take an Art-Scroll Yeshua, Judaica Yeshua, anybody who ever made a map, you'll see Zvulun is not on the banks of the Mediterranean. Those who stick in Art-Scroll, they stick in the Gra's Shita, they stick in a thin line that leads to the Yam. So what's Pshat Zvulun, L'chayfam, and Yishkai, and Zvulun is a ship? The answer is Zvulun were the sailors in Klal Yisrael, no question. They were the ones who went on ships and caught whatever had to be caught. But you have to understand, the murex is caught a few yards offshore. The water, as I told you, doesn't have to be very deep. It's 12 feet deep. You can catch chalazin. You don't need one shevet. There were many. Asher had a big chelik on the border of the Mediterranean. What's with Zvulun? Why Dafka Zvulun? Why Zvulun? Why not Asher? Why not the other shvatim that were on the bank of the Mediterranean? Now, if you hold, like the Radzina, that it's a deep water fish, then, or any deep water creature, then you need sailors. You can't go out to the sea to catch things that are deep water creatures unless you have sailors. You need Zvulun. Zvulun who lived in the sea, they were the sailors. But to go and say that the murex has to come on to Zvulun is a dava pella, because if you look at the film, I saw they produced the film. People go out in the little, it's like a rowboat, just it's a motorboat. Little boats, and they jump over the edge, and they go down, and they come up for 5 minutes later with a basket with the snails. It was put there before, and they go back and get it. You don't need sailors for that. You don't need a sailorman to go and get it. Now, I wrote this kasha. It seems to be a big kasha. So the answer I got didn't answer the question. He just says, Masha Kasafta, number 8, Lahakshis and Morkas Achalazn, in Yurex Achalazn, Harinus is Samach L'chayf, Lamalan Zvulun, Oitshvatin Kiblu Nachal Alayam. That's what I wrote to them. So he writes, what do you mean? Bikwa Parshas Vayisrik Sibehedya Zvulun L'chayf Yamim Yishkai. The Gra's Kasha. He doesn't write it from the Gra. Mavur Shekiblu Nachal L'chayf Hayam Atzidai. B'yer Chayna Alayam Samach L'tzor. B'ayin Gemar Psachim Akif Yama Asista B'yirasa Batgash Kludim is Zvulun Ka'asi. It says Zvulun Chayam Yishkai. Says a sailor, they checked him out and he came and says Zvulun. It's Takasam. But it has nothing to do with the Kasha. So it's very, very difficult for me to understand this last thing. Now, I don't want to base what I'm saying on this last Nakuda, because like I said, 99 out of 100 Yidden are positive that Zvulun's chelik was on the banks of the Mediterranean. So I'm going to sound like I'm coming with some kukushita and saying this. So it's Hashem, someday we'll get there in Yeshua, and I'll explain how many Mefarshim is this kasha that has a shtim with the pasuk. So this, I don't want anybody to walk away and say, this is my main kasha. To me, it's a ikka kasha. To you, maybe it's not. You don't know if I'm saying makes sense or doesn't make sense. I don't know if you have an Art-Scroll Yeshua. You don't have to read the words of Nach, that's for sure. You just look at the map. You look at the map, you'll see Zvulun, and any map of Eretz Yisrael, Zvulun does not have a chelik on the banks of the Mediterranean. Either it's on the banks of the Kinneret, or it's landlocked, or if you go at the Gra, it sticks out till the Yam. So, let me sum up and tell you the problems. I don't think it's clear at all. It doesn't say a word about whether the sailors are not. It says Zvulun was upset. They said Kulam tzrichen lach. That's Lashon Hara. Everyone needs you for the chalazon. It makes zero sense. Yekilu Zvulun was the only one on the Mediterranean. Let's say Zvulun was on the Mediterranean. The only one. Everybody was on the Asher had the biggest chaylik along the Mediterranean.
What about the color?
Anyway, about the colors. Let me talk to you about the color. Truth is, from the murex you can make many colors. But just like it could be purple, It could be blue. All right, what I want to do is, I wanted to just to be Masuder. What I did is I went through 8 Gemaras. 7 of the 8 Gemaras are difficulties. Let's say you answer all the difficulties. So my taina to them is, and I've spent hours talking to those involved, David Torah, David Chamim, nothing political. If I told them from Terutzim you don't make halachis, you have to have at least a raya from a Gemara, some type of a hechetimsa to bring a raya. There's no, all the Gemaras you can answer. It's a different chalaz and sim. There's no place in Shas except the location. There's any mashmois towards this. Now add to that the Rambam. The Rambam says 3 things that don't shtim. Firstly, he says it's a dag. A dag means fish. No? Dag means fish. If you go in Herzog, there's a store selling dogim, you don't expect to get snails. It means a fish. Rashi in one place says a fish, in one place says techeles, a worm. I don't know, maybe a worm is a snail, I don't know. But Tosfos and Shabbos says it's a dag. The Rambam says it's a dag. Now their answer, they have a gra in Masechtas Kelim, I think Perek Yud Aleph, where he teaches a Mishnah there in Kelim that kol masha nimtza b'yam kari dag. The things found in the yam are also called a dag. And since this is found in the yam, that's the answer that again, you can't buy a shita from Emfering Shverikite. But it's not a satisfactory teretz, and what's most difficult is the Rambam says that it's black, it's shachar. It's black. It's not black. It comes out clear. If you let it develop indoors, it turns purple. Outdoors, it turns blue. And it's very hard to get away from it. The Rambam A says it's a dag. B says it's black. And C, in making it, doesn't describe that you need sunlight. Now, it's not a tiyufta. It could be that maybe the halacha is not like the Rambam. But to try to shtup it into the Rambam and say dog doesn't mean dog. And shachar doesn't mean shachar. Shachar means if you leave it somewhere and it ages for a long time, it turns black. When he told me this, I said, what? If it ages, it turns black? The simon of techeles is that the tzeva is eina yafa, it never changes. He said, no, if you put it in wool, it never changes. But if you leave it out, then it could change. But that's what the Rambam meant. The Rambam is describing Ketzer Reisman. Mevi'in dam chalazen. Hu dag shloim ein techeles. V'dam yishachar k'dyai. V'noisen es adam liyayra. He means that if you leave it, stay a long time, it turns black. And to me, it's a pella that anybody could say such a thing in the Rambam. It's a dava pella. I think the Rambam is 0% chance that it's it.
But Rashi and Tosfos on the spot clearly don't agree with the Rambam.
Why?
He asked, Tosfos says, how could you put a salmon on? And Rashi said, if you Rambam, you must put a salmon if it's black. How do you get it to blue?
The Gemara in one place seems to say that it has to be. And what you're saying is correct. I'll tell you, I pointed out to them that Rav Moshe certainly doesn't hold of what they're saying. Rav Moshe has one tshuva about the techeles. It's a tshuva on a different topic. The beginning of the tshuva, it's Yardei Beis Kuf Lamed Gimel. So I don't know, I wrote them where Rav Moshe says, they wrote me back, he doesn't say it. So I don't know, maybe I wrote them the wrong Maramokim, I don't know. Rav Moshe is bothered by a kasha. The kasha Rishayim asked, how could it be that techeles comes from the chalazin and you eat samamonim? So Moshe answers that since we know the Kabbalah techeles is blue, and since it comes out black, so therefore it must be it's with eruv samamonim. V'ad Rabban yitzvu b'dam chalazin levada apostle dein zet techeles shomer Torah. That's not techeles. So Kama shomer Rambam dam chalazin asma hu shachar k'dyai ve'in itzav techeles. I must have written the wrong maramakim to them, or they looked it up in the wrong place. Rav Moshe is klar. He's talking about something else. And he's talking about how could you just add samamonim? The Torah says techeles. He says, since it's black and the Kabbalah is blue, that's how we know. Now, whether Rav Moshe's lumdis is shver, is easy, but Rav Moshe's zicha, 0% that he held that this is it. He says it's black when it comes out. In a million years, you're not going to get the murex to come out black. It comes out the color, like I said, of saliva. It's a cloudy clear. So to sum up, what I'm saying is zicha no gemaras except the location that have any mashmais. There are 3 major problems. The fact if the molecule is identical, it doesn't fit. The idea that you chayiv on seida, whatever you say about the nets, you chayiv on seida for catching a snail, that's also kasha ad ma'od. In the Torah Mada Journal, they answered it, but I don't understand the words. I can read you. It's a very short piece. I read you the words. Maybe if the person would be, he'd explain it. But he answered the question. But I don't know. I can give it to you. You can look at it later. If I read the words, you're not going to know. And I don't think anybody could understand how it answers the question. But I have no problem. I'm saying it's not the Rambam. There's no raya from a Rashi or a Tosfos. There's no raya. You have Schwerigkeiten, and there's come out no raya except for the location, which is a raya. There's zero rayas to this particular creature being. Now, I'd like to add.
We know that there's only one creature that could be chalazin. Maybe many.
There could be many that are called chalazin. Could they all be for techeles? I don't know.
Anything that would make it that comes from
maybe could be. I'm still working on one, but could be. Could be. Could be. Yeah.
When he says techeles first, he says yisroel, and then the next Rashi down the line, he says it's black. Rashi itself says it's black. So it seems that I don't know what's going on.
Well, the way the Rambam describes it, it comes out black, and by boiling it in some amount, it turns blue.
So the first Rashi is talking about when you add
the Yorek Rashi, I don't know how to answer. I don't know. It could be. I understand. It could be it changes. I'm aware of it because I see that everyone talks about it. The Radzina in the Sefer, Avia Sefer Ein Techeles, he talks about the problem with the Rashi. There are a number of problems with Rashi. Rashi says in one place dag, in one place telas. It's also hard. Now, which one? The murex? The squid. The squid is carved black, yeah. Okay. There's a major problem with the Razina's Tchel. I think it's well known. I think it's pretty much accepted by 99% that the Razina was fooled, that he was incorrect. And yeah. But to talk about this, I want to add, whatever time will allow, a few nekudas about the Latin words, which they make a big spiel about the Latin words from which it comes. I think it's again misleading. It's easy to talk about subjects that people don't know about. As a matter of fact, they passed in the shuls recently a totally misleading piece of paper. It was in yeshiva also, and this was their new hanacha. And I don't think these are Talmidei Chachamim doing it, because they had that on the light spectrum, this particular color of blue reflects at 613 nanometers. 613 is Taryag. It's a raya. It's the right one. It's some Kabbalistic raya. Now, besides the fact that the number of nanometers on a light spectrum is arbitrary, it doesn't come from Sinai, the thing itself was not true. The Metchila wasn't true. And I'm telling you, was Nizbar, there's a Frum Yid, is a professor of optics in New Jersey. First of all, there's no such thing as exactly 613 on the light spectrum. Anything in the light spectrum is within a range. Nothing is always exactly, even to the eye it's the same color, it's not. And secondly, 613 nanometers on the light range is orange. It's not blue. What did they mean? There's a way of measuring all light, all color comes from reflection. If you have all the colors, something is black. You separate in a spectrum, in a prism, you get different colors. Different, what? All colors is white? No colors is black. If you get something that reflects different colors of the spectrum, you end up with blue. If it reflects other colors. The murex dye, that color reflects 613. It's really minus 613 in the spectrum. The spectrum was drawn up. It was inverted. It's really supposed to be down. Up would be orange. 613. By reflecting all the orange parts and red parts of the spectrum, you end up with blue. So that it was just such a misleading, and it was silly from the first place. What does 613 nanometers have to do anything with rayas? It was just certain things that are said with a absurdity.